The Working Perspectives podcast proudly brings to you the weekend news with your host, Matt Lavelle and Bern Podcasy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Working Perspectives podcast presents the weekend news. We've got a packed show tonight with a variety of stories making headlines. Let's dive right in.
First up, we're following breaking news surrounding Sean Diddy Combs.
That's right. Combs has been arrested on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. According to authorities, the charges stem from allegations that Combs forced women to work as prostitutes and threatened them with violence if they refused.
This arrest comes after lengthy investigation by federal law enforcement. Combs has denied the charges and is expected to appear in court later this week. Apparently, that's what you get when you trust a big butt and a smile.
We'll continue to provide updates as the story develops.
Next, a legal battle is brewing in Arizona over voting rights.
Reports state that a lawsuit has been filed challenging a new Arizona law that could bar residents from voting if they cannot provide citizenship documents. The plaintiffs argue that the law is discriminatory and disproportionately impacts minority voters.
The state of Arizona has defended the law, claiming that it is necessary to protect the integrity of elections. The case is expected to go to trial later this year. Arizona took it literally when they said, no ticky, no laundry.
Turning to the world of sports, a new documentary is shedding light on the controversial life of former NFL star Arron Hernandez.
The documentary, American Sports Story, The Killing of Arron Hernandez, explores the rise and fall of the talented football player who was convicted of murder. The series delves into Hernandez's troubled childhood, his time in the NFL, and the events leading up to his tragic death.
It's a must-watch for fans of football and true crime. Critics say that you don't want to miss this and get hung out to dry.
In other news, a former employee of OceanGate Expeditions is accusing the company of prioritizing profits over safety.
Rumor has it, this anonymous employee, who worked on the Titan submersible that imploded earlier this year, claims that the company's CEO cut corners in order to save money. The allegations come as investigations into the tragedy continue.
OceanGate has not yet responded to the claims. Turns out the quickest way to cut corners? Implosion.
Well, how about some good news for coffee lovers? A new study suggests that moderate coffee consumption is linked to lower risk of heart and metabolic disease.
That's the word. Researchers found that people who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day had lower risks of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and strokes.
However, excessive coffee consumption can have negative health effects, so it's important to drink in moderation. Unless you have children, then they suggest injecting that straight into your veins, because nothing will kill you faster than a couple of kids.
We know that's true. Turning to international news, Zimbabwe is facing a crisis as it prepares to cull hundreds of elephants.
Yep, unfortunately, this is true. The Zimbabwean government has announced plans to cull 200 elephants in order to feed the people who have been left hungry by a severe drought. The decision has sparked outrage among conservationists.
The culling is expected to take place in the coming weeks. What a tragedy. Africa hasn't seen a tragedy like this in, 3 days.
Well, back in the United States, we got a former Memphis police officer has admitted to lying about Tyree Nichols being a felon.
Well, here we go. The officer in question, who was one of 5 charged in the connection with Nichols' death, said that he made the false claims in an attempt to justify the use of force. This admission has raised questions about the credibility of other witnesses in the case.
That's right. The trial for the 5 officers is set to begin later this year. I wish I could make a joke about this, but I'm trying to have a family and a career.
In technology news, Instagram is taking steps to protect its teenage users.
I kind of like this. The social media platform Instagram, you heard of it, announced that it'll automatically put teenagers into private accounts and increase restrictions on direct messaging. The changes are aimed at protecting young users from online harassment and exploitation.
The move comes as increasing scrutiny is being placed on social media companies and their impact on young people. When asking a young teen their thoughts on this, they responded by saying, whatever, bro.
Well, next on the docket, a rock and roll legend has issued an apology to his former bandmates.
That's what we're hearing. Perry Farrell, frontman of the band Jane's Addiction, has apologized to guitarist Dave Navarro and other members of the band after an altercation took place on stage. Farrell said that he was ashamed and embarrassed by his behavior.
That's right, the incident occurred during a recent concert and has left fans of the band wondering about the future of the group. But fans everywhere can agree that it was about time that someone punched Dave Navarro in the face. Also, who even knew Jane's Addiction was still around? Well, the more you know.
And last but not least, a bizarre story from Florida. A sheriff has released a mugshot and perp walk video of an 11-year-old boy who was charged with making a school shooting threat.
This is scary. The sheriff has defended his decision to release the video, saying that it is important to deter other children from making similar threats. However, the move has sparked criticism from child advocates who argue that it is unfair to publicly humiliate a minor.
The 11-year-old boy is facing charges of making a false threat of mass violence, qualifying him for the Boy Scouts of America in Florida. That's it for tonight. Old Uncle Matty, back to you.
Thanks, Bern. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on Twitter and TikTok at WorkingPPod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com and please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Also, make sure you check out our other two shows. The Ask AI, which airs Tuesdays, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, and Let's Get Retorted, which airs Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This show will air Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and we expect everyone to watch, comment, like, and subscribe. Otherwise, we won't be able to do this for much longer. We love you all very much. Thank you again, and have a great weekend. See ya!
Working Perspectives Podcast. Please like and subscribe.